Hello everyone. Okay, we are live. 5 seconds in. Great. Cool. No, we're already live. Okay, great. So let's wait for one more. No, I think a couple of seconds more. Then we can start. Oh, one person is here. Yay. Who is here? Please comment your name so that I can see. All right, cool. Okay, so 3:30, 3:30 my time, so it should be 6 p.m. in GMT plus 8. Great. So welcome everyone to consideration for iGV. Just a little information. So my name is Gina, and I am regional manager of iGV for Asia Pacific. And this is just a little bit of my experience in ISEC. So I was OC member of sales in Indonesia. So by the way, I'm Indonesian, so I'm from Indonesia. Yes, so I have been in iGV for about 6 years. I've been in IGT once, but then I came back to IGV because my love for IGV is very big. So that's why I'm in IGV again. Yes, cool. Okay, so what you can expect from this space is the first one is the processes in IGV for consideration, and then KPIs of the funnel, and also my tips for conversion hacking. So which you can see later on. Cool, and if you have any questions, just drop it on the comment. I will check it once in a while. Perfect. Great. So just for your information, this is the current state of IGV in Asia Pacific. The only green thing about our conversion is approval, which is good actually. But then if you see the apply and accept of our product, we are still in rather bad because we're still dropping, which you can see here. Okay, so this is the funnel, right? So from apply all the way until completed. So for the consideration, our responsibility here is to make sure that we are processing every single customer that are applying to our project, right? But then the reality is that we are growing in approved as a region, but then we are still dropping in apply and accept. So what does that mean? So that means that even if we are growing in approved, that also means that we are getting better in conversion, but we are still dropping in apply, and that means that we are not going to have ETs as a pipeline to be approved and in the next couple of months. So yeah, that's just a reality. So if you are now like growing in approval, but then you're still dropping in apply and accept, please be careful and do your projection on like how many approval that you will get in the future. Cool. So, of course, this is the KPI for consideration. So for consideration, we have apply, accept, and approve. Hence, the KPI is number of accept, number of applicant, number of accept, and then number of approve. But then beyond that, these are the things that we sometimes forget or we sometimes don't really see or measure, and that is conversion from apply to accept, conversion from accept to approve, and also the process time as our product, which determine our processes, like are the members doing the job, or sorry, are the members doing their job, or are you tracking them enough? So that's for process time. Great. So for consideration, this is just like a very the summary of what is happening in consideration. So for the first one, so for apply, the customer here has applied to your opportunities, and he or she is waiting for a response. Means that they're already in your funnel, applying to your opportunity. So what we need to do as IGV is to reply, of course, to the customer saying that, hey, we are from Isaac in blah blah blah, thank you for applying, things like that. And then what is important is to also guide your customer to proceed to the next process, or what are the things that they can expect for the next processes. Okay, then after that, they go to acceptance funnel. In here, the customer is accepted already and then needs guidance for the next steps. So what is happening here is to the customer to make sure that they are signing the acceptance notes, of course paying the contract fees, and also get approved by host and home entities. So in this stage we are making sure that they are for the ones that are already accepted, making sure that they are only applying, or they are accepted, or they're choosing the one projects that they really want to go to, and of course like highly suggested to your IR partners, because all the process is going to be so much faster. And then for approval, the customer is already approved, and then they're ready to start their experience. Yep, so since it's consideration, we are going to stop here in approval. Okay, great. So here, if you're looking into the current SOP that we have for LC and MC role, it's very simple. So for LC role, is only the customer management for all the members to process and giving all responses to the applicants for each opportunities, and also for MC role is to make sure that the LCs are processing and giving response to all applicants for each opportunities. And for this means that it seems very simple, but most of the time we are struggling in the routine that we have, especially when you are a member and you have classes, you have exams and all this stuff, which is should not be an excuse, but still it's sometimes we are overlooked this point of our membership. Yes, so this is the so that's what happened for the SOP, and what you can take note on. So just to give you some expectations, this space there will be no there is no secrets on how to have a better conversion or on how to fasten the process time, because there is literally no magic trick in anything in every single processes or operations that we have in ISAC, because everything is the same. Everyone is supposed to do everything that SOP has to say, but there is something that we can do to make it better, is by these tips that I have for you, which we are going to discuss today. Okay, so the first one, this is mainly for apply. So yeah, as iGV, sometimes our roadblocks is that yes, we are processing every single one, but then we are very, very lacking in applicants. Like we are not getting applicants from anyone, even though we have IR partners, but then the IR partners are not giving us the EPs, or we are still not getting applicants from our IR partners. So that is basically the thing that I have been hearing for the first quarter for this year. So my suggestion is actually very simple. So the first one, to make it easier for your OGV to promote your project, is that you need to make an effort to conduct a sales webinar for the LCVPs, or for the team leaders, or for the members of OGV, to teach them on how to sell your projects and how to sell your entity, because you are the best person who knows about your project and also your entity, obviously, because let's not assume that not all members of your IR partners understand about the project, nor the countries of your own. So it's going to be very difficult if you assume that they know how to sell my project because we are IR partners. That's not always been the case. So yeah, put an assumption that they don't know how to sell a project. The next one is to share your materials with the OGV, but most importantly, share the stories on why the project is important in your cities, so that they can feel connected to project. Because most of the time, okay, you share the materials and that's all. There is no follow up on okay, so this project is very important in my city because of this, because of what, or this is my materials, and that's all. So you leave it there. But most of the times, the OGV side can also be missed out on the informations that you are giving, because materials itself is not enough. If they don't believe in your project, then it's going to be also harder for them to sell your project, because first thing is that as IGV, we are not the one who directly contacted or directly in touch with the customer, but the OGV does. So that is the tricky part, which means that when the OGV side is promoting a project, they need to really believe in the project that they are promoting, which is your project, and they need to really believe in the core of like why the project needs to happen in your city, or why the EP needs to come to this project, and then what kind of development they can get, or what kind of help they can provide to the society and all. So make sure that you are teaching all of these small details to your OGV, because yeah, as a reminder that the person who sells your project is the OGV members, and yes, they are the first touch points that an EP has. So yeah, it's not you, but then it's them. Yeah, in most cases. Yep. So don't forget that this is very important for you to do. Sales webinar is very simple, but yeah, follow up is very important as well. Cool. The next one. So this is already like, let's say they are already applying. So what we can do to make sure that the conversion is better and also the process time is better is to make sure that you are aligning your SOP with your LC or MC partners, wherever you are, mainly on how you can process the applications fast enough. So this way the customer will get accepted very quick. So I know that this sounds very easy, but my suggestion is for you to also understand what are the processes that is happening in the OGV side, so that you can also kind of align what are the processes that you have. So that's why aligning your SOP is very important, but not only the SOP, but also like process time, and then if you have like a tracker, share your tracker with your IR partners so that they can also see like how many applicants are applying and all this stuff. Yeah. The second one, I can never say this enough, but please contact your customer fast enough and make it a culture and also a rule at the same time in your entities. So when I was a member of IGV, when I was in my LC, we have this rule that we need to check expa every morning and every night, and also in the middle of the day. So we have 3 times of expa checking routine with my LCVP last time, so that we know every single applicants that are applying to our project. So this way you can really, it's very easy for you to keep track on your applicants and also process them faster. Because like, let's imagine you are ordering a pizza. You are, of course, you will choose the ones that has 30 minutes of delivery than the 90 minutes of delivery, because yeah, in this world you just want things to be fast, right? So it's the same thing. The faster you are, the most likely your EPs are coming to your projects. Cool. And then the next one is to work on your lead nurturing. The lead should be lowercase. But anyways, work on your lead nurturing to support your customer, to make faster decision to purchase your product. As I said before, the faster you are, the most likely they will come, because the customer will think that, oh yeah, you're very reliable, then you're very responsive, so I'm gonna go, because there are chances where they are not applying only to your project, but also to like 3 other projects. So if you're fast enough and you are very responsive, they will think that, okay, yeah, I'm going to choose you, because that is, in most of my cases, that's one of the reason why my EP come to my projects. So yeah, cool. The next one is first thing is to ensure that lead nurturing is enough for the customer to understand fully what are the next steps, and those being able to make a fast decision. So remember that I like what Philia said to us about consideration is that every lead nurturing or every processes that we have with the EPs are educations to our customer about our product and our project. So it's very, very important when you are doing lead nurturing. It's not only that you are talking to them like, hey, how are you, and all this stuff, but then engage them in a way that they know more about our project, or they know more about my country, to make sure that they are more interested in going to your entity. So it's not like you are annoying them by like, hey, apply to this, or hey, do this or do that, but more towards like educating them or guiding them on the project and the country itself. Yep. And then the next thing is to make sure that you support your customer in the process of getting visa or necessary travel document. This is not necessarily when they are only when they are approved. When they are approved, most of the cases is that an EP apply to your projects, not knowing that maybe they have problem with visa, or they have the visa restriction and all this stuff. So make sure that when your EP is applying, first thing you need to check is how is the procedure of getting a visa in your entity, and then to also explain to them what is happening or what needs to be prepared for the visa document to be ready. Yeah, because I think that this is super, super important, because sometimes you already approve someone from, for example, country A, but then the visa is not um, it's not, how to say, it's not legal, or it's not available for this specific country, then you cannot proceed with the EPs, right? So make sure that you're you are preparing them for the visa and also travel document. Yep. And then the next one is if you have this technology like to automate the messages for lead nurturing, then it's good. But if you don't, please make sure that you have a channel like a WhatsApp or Facebook or whatever that you are using as a platform, to make sure that you are engaging your customer, because it's going to make a huge difference, because the EPs are going to feel like they are engaged, or they feel like um, they're ready for the experience and things like that. Yeah, so that is that. And then the next one is to please engage your IR, because IR is one of, it's like your extended member or extended synergy that you have, because the better you have with better management that you have with the IR, the easier it is for you in every single thing, like processes, quality, and things like that. So super, super easy. So my tips for this one, so first thing is to maintain your routine with your IR partners. Um, yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's a meeting, or it doesn't matter if it's a review, or if it's just check-in like messages and things like that, but it is very important to maintain the routine. But then I also understand that sometimes you're like, yeah, I don't know what to talk about in the meeting, or I don't know what kind of topic that I can bring up during the meeting. So my suggestion is you always have something to talk about, because if, for me, from what I see, is that every week you have a different challenge, or every week you have a different cases or a different topic that you can actually talk about. So what I suggest here is to review your performance, or update the performance. It can be like an EP update, or it can be like a process time update. It can be conversion of review, goal versus actual, because I think that this is something that you have been setting in the very beginning, but then if you don't follow up on that, then it's going to be very wasteful. Yeah, so this is super, super, super important for you to discuss with your IR partners, because if both of you are not aware of, okay, so how many realization that I will have, or from that realization, how many approvals should we get, or how many applicants should we get, and things like that. And then for the conversion is that to make sure that the conversion is achieved, of course, like if let's say your goal of conversion is 65%, but then in the current contacts, we only get like 50%. So from here, you can see like, okay, so what is happening with our conversion, or what are the things that we can do together to make sure that the conversion is improving. Yeah, and then the next one is strategy review. This is mainly for the MC. For example, if you have like zero ship, if you have investment strategy with your IR partners. So yes, you really need to make sure that you are reviewing this, because it has something to do with money, especially for a strategy that involves money and investment in it. So it's very important for you to review what are the ROI of the strategy itself. So, but if you do not have any like investment strategy, still like strategy like SOP alignment or LC to LC or MC to LC, all these strategies needs to still be reviewed, because both of you needs to be aware of what is happening in the both side. Yeah, because it's not enough for me to only understand what is going on with me, but I also need to understand what is going on in the OGV side, so that I can make sure that whatever I do, I am supporting the OGV side. Because most of the time we only think about, oh yeah, okay, you are dropping with me, so please give me applicants, or please give me more more EPs. But the thing is that we need to understand that both are responsible for every KPI. Means that if you don't have enough applicants from country A or entity A, means that there is something wrong with the sales, for example, or your country or your project is not interesting enough, or there's literally like no one can sell your project or your entity. So strategy review is very important to review all of these things. And then the next one is to align every single step. I have it in a big letters because I want to emphasize that every single step, okay, of the SOP, to ensure that you know what are the processes in OGV, to make sure that you explain all the processes that you have as IGV as well. So because okay, we have SOP, but then sometimes you also have like a different processes that is required for us to put it in a SOP, in your customized SOP. So with that, you really need to make sure that the OGV understand. Like for example, when I was in Malaysia, because of the government, they require more letters from the embassy. We added one SOP in our consideration, is to like give us some information for the EPs to apply for the visa, let's say. So these are the small thing in the SOP that needs to be followed in order for us to convert the EP. Yeah. So the next one is that to create communication channel with minimum LCVP IGV, LCVP OGV, team leaders and members who are responsible for the consideration, so that to just make sure that the conversation, and to make sure that the processes, and to make sure that we are not missing on any applicants that we have in our in the funnel. Yeah, sometimes this is like very obvious, but then sometimes we also forget that, oh my god, we actually don't have a group, or yeah, so that happens sometimes. So please make sure that you have a communication, like a clear communication channel, and also what is the objective of the communication channel itself. Yep. And then the next one is to update your applicants in the group for both sides, to be aware of. So for example, if I have like 10 new applicants, let's say, you can post in the group to make sure that the OGV side are aware, like, hey, there are 10 more applicants here. They're still open. Let's process them, things like that, so that both of you can create your own accountability system for your own I mean, between the two of you. Yep. So let me go to. Cool. So there is no question so far, is it? All right. So if there's no more question, I mean no questions, let's move on. Cool. So this is just the food for thought that I have. So first thing is that imagine how many applicants that you lose in here, because if you see again in the very beginning, like we have around 6,000 EPs that are applying to our projects, but only 1,400 are managed to be approved, or they at least they confirm or they paid already that they are coming to AP. So like let's imagine if you are if we are accepting like at least 10 more percent of those applicants, like how many people can be able to come to AP and then experience AP. Yeah, and then for the reason behind what is the like what are the things that are affecting our EPs or affecting us for not processing um, our applicants, like is it our membership or is it the OGV side that is not responding to the EP or not giving the EP enough understanding of the processes that ISAC has, like whatever reason it is, like it's very important for us to know or to figure out what is the reason. And then the second question is that how many customer do we accept but they don't get approved? So the first reason that we need to understand is that why don't they get approved? Is it because money, or is it because of the system, like the bank issues, or is it because of the parents? What is it? Because for me, I believe that every single problem can be solved as long as you understand what is the problem itself. Yeah. Yeah, so again, what imagine if we can grow like at least 10 more percent from our acceptance to approval, because like if you see here the funnel, like at least they're already in the funnel, like they're already applicants, like we are mainly converting converting EPs that are already in our system. So yeah, it's not that we are getting EPs that are not here, but they are there. It's just that they are not approved. Yep, so I think that would be everything from my side. Is there any questions from you? So I will wait for about 1 minute or two to see if you have any questions about IR or any considerations. So yeah, you can leave the questions. I will wait for a bit. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, how many IGVs are here actually? Because I cannot see how many people that are attending. Let's check how many. Who are you? Oh, I see Amanda is joining. MCVP Malaysia. Who else is joining? Okay, cool. Then if you do not have any questions, then if you really think that you have more questions in the future, you can contact me here. This is my email, so write it down, or you can also contact me on Facebook actually. Yeah, I will be I will be more than happy to receive your questions, or if you want to, I don't know, discuss in general, like about IGV or about GV or about anything at all, please just contact me there. I will try to be as responsive as I can. Cool. So yeah, I think that would be everything from my side. Thank you very much for coming. I wish you all the best fish pick. and see you later. So after this, if you are interested, after the space there will be TM space. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.